Hey guys, and welcome to this week's edition of the Shrewsbury Biscuit. Today I'm going to be sitting with Karen Duffy, who's a resident artist at the Market Hall in Shrewsbury. This lady found out very short notice that she was going to be coming on the show. So as you can expect, at the beginning she was a bag of nerves. She was quite nervous about this. Everybody seems to be, but they very, very quickly kind of become a bit more comfortable when they realise how just informal and casual this is. It's just literally a conversation. Just, the only difference is there's a microphone in front of you. We set up right in the middle of the market hall, upstairs, outside the manager's office. I think it was like an extension of gin difference benches, but we just set up there. It was really good. People coming up to us curious about what was going on, which I did encourage on social media. So anybody that came and had a look, I explained to them that we're from the Biscuit and we're doing this. And that was really nice. I really like that. I like getting a bit of ambiance in the background. I really like the atmospherics in the market hall. It's really nice. So thank you, Karen, for that. That was a really nice interview. And thank you to Julie as well, who put that together. It was a very quickly put together episode because I have had a problem with scheduling. You know, I'm learning, and I have now got a planner, and I'm trying to plan episodes as far up as April. So, you know, we are going to be covering a lot more people at the market hall because it's a special place for Shrewsbury, and you know there are a lot of traders in that market hall. In my planner, I decided to write down every single trader that works there, and there was like 4 pages. So you can imagine how many, trying to fit that into a schedule can be quite difficult. So if you do want to come on the Shrewsbury Biscuit and you do want to sit down with me and Julie or me and Shane and talk about what you do, get in touch. You can email us or you can drop us a message on Facebook and we will get back to you and we will try and organise something. It's a learning curve for me, the scheduling thing, but we will get there. So over the last few days, I have been researching new apps, new ways to listen to this show. One of the main things I hear of people is that they don't want to put a new app on their phone because of memory. And, it's a common thing. So I thought I would try and find a new way to listen without putting a new app on your phone. And I found 2 things. One is Spotify. If you don't have to pay for Spotify if you're going to listen to podcasts. The only reason you want to pay for Spotify is if you want to listen to a specific artist on a specific song that you want, because you can select an artist, but it'll be on shuffle, So, but to listen to podcasts, it's free. And you can literally just press join with Facebook, and there is an app for your TV, your Xbox, or whatever you want. And also, I found one yesterday called My Tuner, which is really good because you can listen to all sorts of radio stations from all around the world, as well as podcasts, and that goes on your TV too. So My Tuner and Spotify, they're 2 things you can use. Throw the podcast on your TV, and you can listen to the podcast whilst you're doing your housework. It's really cool. And finally, I want to say a huge, huge thank you to Katie Rink and the guys at My Shrewsbury magazine. They featured a really nicely written article about the Shrewsbury Biscuit, where it came from, and that was so great. I'm really grateful for that. I got quite emotional seeing that. So thank you very much. And speaking of the Beatles, there is still time to get your tickets in for the Beatles weekend, which is on the 20th to the 22nd of September. You can go on their Facebook, the Shrewsbury Beatles Facebook, Instagram or Twitter, and you'll be able to find out all the events that are going on there. We did mention them on last week's show, but, if you just listen to this now, you can find it. It's everywhere. And also, there's a handy tip. If you go into Google and just type in events in Shrewsbury, there is a whole lot of events going on. And that's how I've been finding out a lot of things to talk about on the show. So just a handy tip, that's all. But yes, this episode is with Karen Duffy, and I'm really happy to bring this to you. I hope you enjoy it. And if you've got anything to add, any feedback, you make sure you can drop us an email, shrewsburybiscuitpodcast@gmail.com, or you can just send us a message on Facebook and we'll get back to you. Thank you guys. I hope you enjoy this episode, and peace out. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to this week's edition of the Shrewsbury Biscuit. And we decided to be really odd and set up right in the middle of the market hall, just because it's not embarrassing enough that we do this, you know. And Julie, thank you very much for sorting out this guest for us.
Pleasure.
I feel I've set Julie up like one of like a picnic bench, a really long picnic bench on the top of the market hall, and I've put her down the side of me, so she's like trying her best to.
He's lying. I'm at the other end.
He's right at the other end. And my mix is in between us. That sounds odd. And today we're joined by Karen Duffy, who's one of the artists at the market hall. You've got your own stall
Hello,
here.
Alex.
Hello.
Hi, Julie.
Hiya.
Thanks for coming on the biscuit. This is. I know. I appreciate this is really odd for someone that's never done this before. It's like, yeah, let's just do it in front of everybody. I do apologise, but thank you for coming on the show.
You're welcome.
So, how are you, Julie? You good?
I'm fine, thank you. Yes.
I know you're a busy bee.
Yeah, it's weird being at work. It's disrupting my social calendar.
Damn biscuit. So.
I don't mean this work. I mean the other work.
Oh.
This is your lunch hour, isn't it?
Yeah, this
Why
is
do we
my
have
lunch
to
hour.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but that's fine. I'd rather be doing this.
Oh. So yeah, we decided that we wanted to cover the market hall, start like just picking people to talk to find out about this great place. Obviously, it's been voted like the best market in the UK for was it the last 2 years?
Yeah. Well, it won last year. This year,
Not last year. Though. Was it
2019.
last year? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you know why. What makes this place so great? That's why we want to find out, you know, because I think I was checking the numbers last night, and we've got listeners like we've just suddenly blown up. Not blown up in America, like, but there's lots of people listeners in America that don't understand
Really?
about this market hall. So let's explain to them, you know.
Oh, right.
So you're an artist.
I'm an artist
Yeah.
now. I can officially call myself an artist. It's taken a long time to use that word, as other artists will understand.
What qualifies as an artist?
Oh.
What's the defining term? What's the defining moment when you can call yourself an artist?
Because I paint every day, but that's not the reason. Anybody who enjoys and has a passion for art is an artist.
Yeah,
But I really now I do it. It's my job. I paint every day.
Is that okay? So that I guess that could be one defining term, is if you
There's
actually
lots of defining terms out there. Yeah,
I think if you can create something that people enjoy, you're an artist. You know,
Yeah.
whether it's music, art, podcasts. You
Yeah.
know.
The difference is you're here, aren't you, with a stall. People can see you at work, and you are at work. You're selling your paintings.
I paint in a stall in front of people, so
Exactly.
they see me actually making art. And
So actually, you sitting here doing a podcast in front of everybody in the market hall shouldn't be a bother for you, really, because you kind of. What's it like, you know, trying to concentrate in your in your stall whilst you're trying to, you know, intricate line work or something like that, and someone's like, "Excuse me."
it took me a long time to get used to that, because being an artist, I think I lack a lot of confidence in my own work, and that's quite common. Well, it's obvious why, because not everybody likes the same art. So,
Yeah.
and I've had to get that in my head. Not everybody that walks past is going to like my art,
Yeah.
and I don't mind painting in front of people. I like what I do, and I think that's what makes me suddenly feel more confident. If I like it, then somebody else might.
I find it quite liberating, to be honest. You know, thinking about it from like somebody who I'm not very good at art. I can't
bet you
paint.
are.
I can't draw. I can do the odd smiley face. And,
An emoji.
Well, that's art.
I do a wicked stick man, like, you know. But to sit there like in their zone, kind of doing their thing, especially if it's something that you've commissioned, like if you could
My
commit
dog commissions.
Yeah.
Yeah,
commissions.
you do a lot of them, don't you?
Yeah, I have done. Yeah.
Actually, because it's probably useful you, Alex, knowing how I sort of came across Karen rather than just wandering around the market hall and looking at each of the stalls.
Where did this relationship begin?
Karen did me a watercolour lesson, because I used to do watercolour years and years ago, and when I came up here I wanted to sort of get into it again, but I didn't want to go to any formal art classes for like weeks on end. And on Karen's stall she had she did art lessons there behind.
So we
her
had an
stall.
art lesson, didn't we, Julie?
We did.
In front of everybody.
And I drew some mountains and a lake, if I remember rightly. I've still got it at home.
That's really cool. I have respect for anybody that has the patience to be able to do it, because I mean, I'm getting good at the old graphic design. I'm to design posters and things for all the shows and things I work on, and I've had people asking me to make posters for their shows now, which is great. But the physical paint, I'm just not good at it.
Anybody can do it. You're saying you're not good at it, but I'm sure you are. I'm sure. So many people come to the store and they say, I can't draw, I can only do matchstick. That's art.
There's a really great
yeah.
There's a great scene in The Simpsons I always remember, and it's Principal Skinner, and he's looking at this like drawing that he'd made on a piece of paper, and he's like, yeah, I was in the zone that day. And that's how I imagine me. Like, I'd have to have a moment of clarity and just like inspiration.
You get those moments, and suddenly it all falls. With my art, I start off with doing lots and lots of layers of different textures and colours, and then suddenly it falls into place, and I know what my painting's going to be.
How long have you been doing this for?
Doing what?
Art. Because some people...
A lifetime.
All your whole life, okay.
No, it's far more complicated than that. No. I wanted to go to art college when I was 16, and a long time ago. And in those days, my parents persuaded me to do academic studies. Yeah.
You're not going to art school.
Yeah. And I ended up... I went to live in France. I lived in France for nearly 20 years, and... my dad was an architect. I forgot about that. My dad was an architect. Mum did textile design, and it's always been there. And
so there's always been a creative,
creative background.
Yeah.
Living in Paris at the time, I wasn't painting regularly. I worked in the school as a teaching assistant, and I raised my children. But living there, you can imagine with we used to go to Claude Monet's house a lot in Giverny, and
lots of inspiration there.
Loads of inspiration. So. And then I moved to Shrewsbury, and we just fell upon the market hall.
Did you literally just sort of come in with the intention of,
I can't remember
need a space
somebody
to work?
Told my partner about the market hall, and he'd not heard of it. He'd lived here for 25 years.
That's why we're doing the market hall special.
Can you believe it? We walked around trying to find it, and we didn't know where it was.
Wow.
That is interesting.
So, the market hall looks like offices on the outside, doesn't it?
It does, yeah, and that's the thing. Yeah,
and I think that's the problem. People don't realise it's here. And I get so many customers saying, this is the first time we've found you. But you come inside and it's nothing like what you think on the outside,
Not
is
at all.
it?
It's a hidden gem. It's a hidden gem. It really is. If you've never
Such
been
a lively place.
Especially, cheap parts from Amazon. This is what happens when you have no budget, guys. The headphones go a bit weird. Now, night times when they open this in the evenings, it is just...
We've got a late night this weekend.
Yeah,
tomorrow.
There is, and I can't make it, unfortunately. But we are planning actually something...
the 9th, the next one, the 9th.
The 9th,
of November.
we're going to be here. We're going to be speaking to people.
Oh, a good idea.
Yeah, and I want to try and cover the light switch on the 20th as well, or 20th of November.
Can't remember the date.
We want to cover the light switch, and of course, everybody just piles in here after the light switch, don't they?
Yeah,
but
they do.
They do. Yeah, gin different.
When you said the light switch, I've just realised what you meant. You meant switching on the Christmas lights, didn't you?
The Christmas lights, yeah, darling.
Don't keep saying the C word in September.
I know, yeah. Well, this is the rule for me personally, right? Once I get my birthday's on the 30th of August, and then once that goes, everybody just seems to naturally start talking about Christmas. So I don't like it. but I've had to learn to accept it, So
I'm going on holiday next week. It's my summer holiday. Don't talk about it.
You're going anywhere
Best
nice?
time to go.
Yeah. Going to get lots of inspiration.
Yeah. And what does it take for you? I mean, you say you take commissions and things like that, but you just sit and paint things to sell. What's the process there? Do you just see something that inspires you? You think, we'll paint that for the store.
I spent my whole life taking things in, taking photographs. I take lots and lots of photographs everywhere I go. And when I paint something, I don't always use photographs. I just it's what I can remember. It's my spontaneity, It's just
because we were talking.
It's really hard to explain.
Yeah, because we were talking about. We're looking at your pictures, and we were looking at this beautiful painting that you made, and you were like, I started painting it. I didn't know what it was going to be. Hiya, you all right?
We've got lots of interested
viewers
viewers now.
Come to say hello.
This is Mike, a regular in the market.
This is the Shrewsbury.
Hi, Mike.
How's it going?
You look like you're doing something very technical.
We look like we're doing something technical. I guarantee you,
We're not.
Have a nice day. It might.
I'm not going to go on the radio.
Neither are we, probably. Have a good day, sir. Have a good day. Yeah, so we were looking at one of your paintings, and you said you started painting it. You didn't know what it was going to be. You just started.
I've got a new technique
Yeah.
to me. I've discovered cold wax. I don't know
Yeah.
if anybody's heard of that. There's a few people here using it. And you add cold wax medium to your oil paint, and it makes lovely textures, and you can build up layers, and it's transparent, and you can scrape back into the paint, and I build up lots of textures, so it looks very abstract. But then I see something in it.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. I looked at this, and you said I said it looked like an autumn garden with a path running up the middle, and that's what it meant to me. It might mean something else to someone.
Well, that's
You
the
know.
idea.
That's the whole point of
Yeah.
abstract,
Yeah.
though, isn't it?
It's not
It's
pure
what the-
abstract, but it's
Yeah.
abstract.
Yeah,
It's what someone sees in it, though, themselves, isn't it?
yeah.
So this cold wax, I'm a bit interested in this cold wax because I'm like visualising a candle, which
it
is
is,
wax
it's beeswax.
and it's cold.
It's beeswax.
So what is it? You scrape bits
You
and
mix
put into the oil.
50% wax with your oil. Mix
Right.
it, and then it doesn't have to be 50%, but no more. I work on wood panels, so it doesn't, because the canvas would crack. And
Right.
I showed you the tool, didn't I, Alex?
Yeah,
I
it looks
don't
like- it
use
looks-
a paintbrush anymore.
It looks like a rubber. You know the cuttlefish you buy for your birds in the cage.
Oh yeah, for
bowl
budgies.
scraper.
Yeah, it's like a rubber one of them.
It's like a bowl scraper.
Yeah, yeah.
It's called,
right.
what did I say it was called? I can't remember the word now. A catalyst.
A catalyst.
Yeah, if you look
it's
on
a
Amazon,
fancy
you can
word.
buy them on Amazon. It's called a catalyst, and it's rubbery.
So like you cut the handle off a rubber spatula. There you go.
That's right.
Right, I get you. That makes sense now.
And it just frees my work up. Because otherwise, I used to work in a very realist style, so I used to do very fine detail. I no longer do fine detail. If you look at my work,
You do what's happy, and what I guess. You found your niche now,
yes,
haven't you?
definitely, yeah.
You still
Yeah.
do the dog commissions, though, don't you?
Yeah,
If
I still
people-
do dog
Yeah, yeah.
commissions and cat commissions.
And they're brilliant. To go from something abstract like what you're making to like these really fine portraits of dogs and animals,
Because people don't realise that if you can do abstract, you can draw.
yeah,
You know, or
yeah,
it's not people who do. A lot of people who do abstract painting can actually draw.
yeah.
So,
Yeah, and it is hard to understand, and this is not meant as any disrespect to any artist ever, but when you see someone and they're like, splash of paint, splash of paint, and
that's me.
And you sit at home thinking, I could do that.
I could do that, yeah.
I've had that. I've had
I
that
bet
said.
you have.
But that's why I told you I've started listening to podcasts,
Yeah,
and I've been learning a lot about. It doesn't matter if a few people don't like your work.
nope.
Exactly.
There's going to be one person comes along who does like your work.
Yep.
And I've just got to get that in my head because I do think I lack a lot of confidence, and I know a lot of artists do. And it's very hard to market your work when you're an artist. We're not confident, most of us.
I've got a very famous artist called Eric Pfluger in America, and he's the same. He explains it
In
like
America.
Yeah. He does a lot of portraits and things like that. He says he's hating his work as he's doing it. He's just trying to push through and
Exactly.
you
And
know.
then suddenly,
Yeah,
so all these people that say they can't do it, just keep going, and
Yeah.
it'll eventually.
But didn't you recently take some of your work down to Church Stretton and do this? Oh, I thought you was.
Yeah, I did that.
You did.
Yeah.
You did. But you just had it on display for other people to see
Yeah.
outside of the town.
No, it was in the school, in Church Stretton High School.
So who came in there? And it was over the
Anybody.
summer holiday,
Open to
wasn't
the
it?
public.
It was open to the public.
Yeah,
Of course
yeah.
it was. Yeah.
and what was the response for that?
Yeah, I sold 2.
Yeah, but
Yeah, but the whole point of going is to showcase, isn't it?
I shall do it next year.
I've had some extreme fails in my. I'm not comparing my podcast to your work, by the way, because I'll sit here and I chat on a microphone, sometimes really awkwardly, and this is what I'm saying. Sometimes I can just be like, that audio I released for the folk festival was just terrible. I was just
I
kind
haven't listened to that.
No, it was just so bad, and I explained that on the readout. I was like, I just finished a night shift, and I was kind of like,
Oh yeah, I heard that bit. I did hear that bit.
it was so bad. But I'd promised this audio, and I had to release it, and I was kind of like, But you live to die. You live to
Learn.
another day. Yeah.
I did do an art degree. I didn't say that, did I? When I first moved back from France, I moved to Newcastle upon Tyne.
Yeah.
And I did an art degree. And I think doing an art degree, studying art history, I don't know if everybody realises, just studying art history opens you up to new ideas. And
What is art history?
The
Then?
history of art, all the different
So-
artists over the centuries.
Literally,
Yeah.
any type of artist,
Yeah.
any genre within the art.
Yeah.
If you could name three, who would be your three favourite?
Here we go.
It's like going, what's your favourite song? Don't do that.
Yeah.
Well, it was the Impressionists, of course. 'Cause I lived in Paris for a long time. Monet, of course.
Yeah.
I used to paint in an Impressionist style. Degas. I don't know if you've heard of Degas.
I haven't.
And
No.
people can look him up. He's famous for doing the ballet dances in Paris, but in a very impressionist style.
Oh, wow.
Lovely work.
Mm.
And he also did the horse racing, so he did lots of
Oh, right,
horses.
okay.
Gerhard Richter is a German artist who's still alive at the moment. I think he's the artist, he's a living artist who's sold the most artwork.
Wow. Fantastic.
Oh, so when you say sold the most,
I think
because
he's earned
he's still
the
alive.
most. Yeah, he's still
Yeah.
alive, and he's earned the most money for his artwork.
Oh,
Wow.
fantastic. That'd be a good...
Who else? Have I said three?
You
Except
have.
for, I mean, I know a little bit about art. I mean, my favourites are I like things that make me, that create emotion in me. So I like Salvador Dali. I love that
Yeah.
original. All that stuff.
Is
And
that the melting clock man?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Brilliant work. And Giger. H.R. Giger. He does all the Alien. He designed Alien. His amazing pencil work. That sort of stuff. Really, I love that.
So you're into art then?
I do a little bit.
You've
a little
got to
bit.
mention a certain local hero.
Oh
Comic
yeah, and
hero.
Mr. Charlie Adlard. Charlie Adlard's brilliant though because he
Drawn all the Walking Dead comics.
Oh.
yes, he's fantastic. He's local and he's a superstar here, and he goes to live classes and
That's what I need to do. I
Yeah.
used to do that. I used to go to the life drawing classes. That's really worth doing for
at the
anybody who's
Hive.
interested in art.
I mean they do it at the Hive.
Yeah.
I'd be too giggly.
When you say life drawings, right? So this is like, is this you're drawing a person?
Yes, they
that's
are.
naked.
Naked.
in the
person.
nude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So why do they call that a life painting then?
And not naked.
Yeah. What makes that a life painting?
I guess
Because
it's.
they're alive.
I guess it's a
Why do
human.
they have to be naked? Why can't they be in clothes? They're still alive.
I guess you're painting the human body.
Yeah,
aren't you?
sort
In
of.
different,
Okay. Right. So.
in different positions.
I must admit,
Yeah.
when I did my art degree, we had life drawing.
Yeah.
I used to paint. I love painting. And we had a lady who came in and regularly, and then she was replaced by a man. So we all got a bit nervous. She was completely naked.
Yeah.
And we all got a bit nervous about this man coming in. And he came in a pair of shorts. So, I don't know.
Obviously, wasn't used to doing being a life painting model.
So going back a bit, like the point I was trying to make is with these artists that I like, with Giger. I don't know if that's his name. It's for a guy I love.
We're going to have to
Is
look
it
that up,
Geiger?
aren't we?
Is he
Geiger.
German?
Yeah, he's very famous. And Charlie Adlard, they have a specific style, They have that thing that they're known for.
Yeah.
Whereas you've got like a really good. You've got like, we were looking at this beach painting that he'd done with the wax,
Yeah.
and
Textured.
it was all textured, and the
Layers
foam,
of
the white
colour.
foam looked like the foam you'd get off the sea, and then you show me these pictures of these brilliant portraits that you've done of animals,
It's very different,
so
isn't it?
you've got two different styles, and I bet you've
I've
got
got
many
lots of
more.
different styles,
Many more, yeah.
But I think I found what I want to do.
Yeah.
Isn't that funny? I think all artists are searching for their style, and I think that using this cold wax, if
Yeah.
anybody wants to look it up, cold wax medium
Well,
and oil painting, you can do all sorts with it. You can put
don't do that. What you do is you say for £15 a ticket, you can. I'll
You can
teach
buy
you.
it off me.
I
Or buy
I
it off
was
me.
told before I did this not to give too many secrets away.
Yeah.
I should teach it. I should start teaching
Yeah.
all the things I've learned I can do with it.
So
Yeah.
I'm guessing the cold wax is just like a neutral colour, and it's the oils that
Yeah,
you mix
it's
with it that
pure
give
white
the colour.
beeswax
Oh, it
with
literally
resin.
is.
I think it's resin and alkyd medium. It's called in it. Yeah, it's like using beeswax. Yeah.
Okay, right.
Yeah.
Obviously, please, listeners, don't go out and raid beehives to get wax to do this, clearly.
No, you have to buy the special cold wax bit. I'm not going to say where you buy it from. But
Yeah, no, don't. Keep that secret to yourself.
So, Julie, you saying you learn watercolours then from
We
Karen.
had a
Does that
lesson.
mean you're very artistic? You like to paint?
Not really. No, I just did watercolours years ago because I wanted something to do one evening. So I did some lessons and I got into. I mean, I don't think I'm good. I suppose that's the whole like.
Watercolour's really, really hard. It's the hardest
Yeah,
medium.
and I didn't know that, but it was
to
just
use.
it was the cheapest medium
Yeah.
I found.
A lot of people try watercolour,
Yeah.
like you,
because you can go and buy
and think
it.
they can
from-
do it, and it turns out just
Yeah.
the colours turn into mud.
That's it. I mean, it was good, and I did it. But when I came to Shrewsbury, I thought actually, when you've got somewhere like the Dingle, I'd love to go and sit in the Dingle on a nice sunny afternoon and just paint all the flowers and with all the different colours. And then I forgot. So that's when I was wandering around in here one day, saw Karen's stall, saw Karen's leaflet that said art lessons, and I thought, right, I'm booking one. And that's all I had was one, but that's all I needed, because then I sort of suddenly remembered the techniques again. But I hasten to add, I didn't go away and do any because I just got too busy with work. But obviously I paint my rocks, but they're different, and that's for another interview.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've got a rock that Julie gave me. Very nice.
I always find all these rocks up in Hormond Hill when I go up there, the painted rocks.
That's what I do,
Yeah.
except for I don't
They're
hide them
tiny.
anymore.
They're tiny, aren't they? Why? They're all,
Some of them, yeah. Yeah, they're quite nice. They're quite nice. So what have you got planned for the rest of this year then? I know you're going on holiday. Have you got any, is it just to carry on, keep doing what you're doing, or have you got any like plans? Is there anything?
I have got plans. I
Yeah?
want to use my market stall not just to sell my paintings here. I'm going to concentrate on using it as a studio, and I want to get out into galleries. As well as selling here, I sell a lot, but I really feel now I'm ready to expand and go into
That's
some
really
galleries.
good.
We went to, where is it, in Wales? I can't remember where it is, on the Llyn Peninsula. There's a fantastic art gallery out there. Wish I could remember what it was called, because people might like to go. And I'm going to apply to put my work in there for next year, but that's
good.
next year. Yeah.
So I always ask this to people, and it's always an awkward question, but what would you say to aspiring artists that were going to start up today doing what you do? What advice would you give them?
Take risks.
Yeah?
It doesn't have to be perfect. That's my problem. When I first started art, I wanted to be this perfect artist, but there's no such thing, And I use a lot of, like I said, I don't know what I'm doing when I start off.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how I start. And I do like colour, I must admit. I've studied a lot about colour, and to other artists, just take the plunge, just take risks. And if you see something nice that you've done in a painting that you don't like, make note of what you do like and use that bit that you liked in your next painting.
Yeah.
Don't throw it away thinking
that's
this
a
is
good idea.
rubbish. Yeah, well, I think that's really... And now when I do a painting, if I see an area that I really like in it, I take a photograph of it and I keep notes of how I did it. I think that's really important to know,
Yeah. And it's good that, there are people still out there doing it. In the modern day and age where people are using tablets to draw things like I do, there's people still out there, learning this. It's really good.
Therapeutic.
Are there any pieces of art that you've created that I know it's hard for an artist
What?
that you particularly like? Is there anything that you're
Of
very
course there
fond
are,
of?
yeah.
The best bits that you've done, and where can people see them if they could?
They've been sold.
Yeah, go on. Well, Margaret lives at number 42. Go on.
When you said that, there's
I mean, is there anything hung up anywhere in town that people can see your work? Or
on Instagram.
your Instagram, there we go. We go on
Yeah.
Instagram.
Have you got a
yeah.
website as well, Karen?
I have, but I don't use it.
Okay, so
Pay for
Instagram.
it, and I don't use it. I've not
No.
set it up properly. No, Instagram. Everything's on Instagram. There's some little videos on there as well. and-
Yeah, your Instagram looks great. You just showed me all your pictures. All
Am
the
I
bits I've
allowed
been
to say what it is?
Yeah, of course you
So
can.
it's Art K for Karen.
Yeah.
Duffy, Duffy. Art K Duffy. Have a look.
Yeah, make sure
Excellent.
make sure you do. Well, what we'll do is we'll finish this off with, unless there's anything else you wanted to say. I mean, you've written down a few things that you wanted to say.
Oh, also, there's one thing I would like to say
Yeah.
before I forget. It's just how fantastic the market hall in Shrewsbury
yeah,
is.
yeah. Let's
Yeah.
talk
You
about
know,
that.
I've been so lucky that we stumbled upon it one day, and I applied to get a stall here, and it's been the best thing I've ever done.
And
it's
you
been,
were lucky, weren't you?
I
Because
was
I know
very
that there's a
lucky.
big wait list, isn't
and
there, to get
to
in?
anybody out there who's never been in Shrewsbury Market Hall, well, even
Yeah.
if you don't come in, there's a video You can watch, what's it on the video? Is it Shrewsbury Market Hall?
Yeah.
There's a video showing you inside the market, and
Yeah.
you can see all the different food stalls. And
Better to just come in.
perhaps people in America can't come in.
Yeah, but they like coming to England on holiday, don't they?
Yeah, they have to come over here. It's
What-
almost like a continental market. That's how I describe it,
Yeah.
and that's why I really liked it.
There's a lot of initiative here. It's
Oh,
not like
God,
there's
yeah.
no. I mean, I've been to
Moving
market.
forward.
We've all been to market halls all around the country, and they're very generic. You know, they're very just stall. Whereas, like, as I'm looking at right now, there's fairy lights. There's fairy lights and there's fairy lights, but there's people like made like an effort to try and welcome
There's a
people.
lot of quality.
Lots of
That's
good
how I
quality.
describe
and-
it. And
But I think what I like about it in here is the mix of it, because you're on different levels. So we're on the top gallery level, looking down over the main market hall. So you've got all your your green and white striped canopies.
vegetables.
You've got like a butcher's next to a
grocers.
restaurant,
Yeah.
and then another butcher's next to a bike repair man.
Oh, the food's amazing.
So-
I love the food here.
Yeah.
Try not to buy it every day, but
Yeah.
I had
so I
lunch
just
here
had to say
yesterday.
that.
And like the bird's nest in the corner there.
Oh yeah, it's vibrant.
It's always buzzing. It's
You
always
can never
buzzing.
get a seat in there.
Yeah. I was just before we did this. I had to walk around for coffee. I wanted to get a coffee, and I popped there. And he's like, "There's a wait for coffee," and I was like, "Oh, really? I'm on a deadline. I had to go.
There's quite a few places to get coffee though, aren't there? Not just
I had to go to Tom's
Yeah.
table to get one in the end. But it's really
Tom's
good coffee.
Table's Cafe's good as well.
Yeah, it's good
Yeah.
coffee.
No, I like all of them in here.
Yeah.
I have tried all
Me
of them.
too.
Yeah,
Well, there's a gin bar as well.
I love the gin bar.
gin different.
Julie's often there.
Well,
A lot.
this is where we're sat now. It's like one of their extended tables.
Yeah.
With gin different, like there's no, yeah, it's a good place to, and this is why we wanted to do this, because this place it's winning awards for a reason, and we wanted to discuss it and get people in to talk about what they do and what they bring to the market hall.
And I thought, why are you asking me? I thought, why me?
Why not you? Why not
You know
you?
why now?
Yeah,
But also to Kate, Kate Gittins, who's
Yep.
responsible for a lot of this market hall. She's been absolutely brilliant here.
She's
And
brought it to life, hasn't she?
yeah.
Yeah.
So thank you to her.
And there's the article, isn't there, in this month's My Shrewsbury, which also features our own head biscuit, Alex,
yes, all that.
who's literally on the first couple of pages in.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's an article about the market hall and some of the people in here, and talks about Kate and how she comes, because she's the main sort of facilities manager, isn't she? And how she's
she
basically
gets involved in everything.
brought life back into
Yeah.
the market.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and the My Shrewsbury magazine as well. That's available in the market. People realise that. You can pick it up on the shelf downstairs.
And a huge shout out to Katie Rink for including the biscuit on that as well. 'cause
Yeah.
that was a massive thing for us. So thank you so much. And that front cover as well. With,
Oh yeah, the Beatles. Yeah.
The Beatles. I'm looking forward to that. Have you been to see the statues yet?
Not yet. No.
Anybody listening to this, make sure you get yourselves to the 7 Theatre. There's big 7-foot tall statues of the Beatles there. You can get a photo with.
Is this next week?
No, it's there.
No, they're already there.
They're already there. You can go in. You don't have to pay. You can just literally step into the lobby of the Theatre 7, take a picture, and just go. You don't even have to
They're
say
basically
anything.
just a duplicate, aren't they, of the ones in Liverpool?
Yeah.
Except obviously
Yeah,
these are
that's what I
resin.
heard.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
All
They're really,
linked up
really
ready.
good. Really good.
I wish I could have done the Sabrina boat with, what's he called, Tony Stanton?
They've sold out, haven't they?
Yeah.
Sabrina boat.
Yeah. I want to try and get on the Sabrina boat. They got. I think in October they have ghost stories
Oh.
on the Sabrina. I think it's on Mondays, just on the build up to Halloween.
Do your listeners know what the Sabrina boat is?
Yeah, I guess so. There is a boat that
Hopefully.
runs up and down.
From bridge to bridge.
The Sabrina boat is a boat that goes up and down the river, and it's a big boat, and they do tours. They talk about what.
And discos, like the old river. What
They
they
do
when you used to call it a riverboat shuffle. That's it, wasn't it? Riverboat shuffle. Discos on the river.
Yeah, we tried to organise something with Sabrina a while ago, but then there was a severe flood, and lots was going on. So I was like, we'll do this another time, but we'll try and get on the Sabrina. There's lots going on, lots and lots going on. I've been putting a lot of work into our scheduling to try and plan things out a bit easier. And if you're listening to this and you want to feature on the Shrewsbury Biscuit, make sure you drop us an email, shrewsburybiscuit@gmail.com. shrewsburybiscuitpodcast@gmail.com. I've got to do that slower. So, Karen, thank you very much for joining us on the show.
Thank
I'm going to
you
end up
for
with
having
a
me.
question that I always ask everybody.
No, what's that?
What does Shrewsbury mean to you?
Oh, you've not asked me that, have you?
No.
I love it. I've lived all over. I haven't told you about my life history, which I won't now. But I've lived in a lot of different places, and Shrewsbury, it's one of the nicest places I've lived in, and I've lived in Paris. You know,
compared to where else? Compared to Paris, compared
Newcastle.
to...
Shall I give you a list of where I've lived?
Let's do it.
West Yorkshire.
West Yorkshire.
Which was very nice. That's where I grew up. Folkestone, Deal, London, Paris,
Wow.
Newcastle upon Tyne.
You can see this
Time
song on
off.
it, like London, New York, Paris, Munich. Everybody talk about pop music.
But honestly, coming to Shrewsbury, I just love it. The buildings, the little every time you go down a little street, there's something different down there, isn't there? I know. I've walked around with a camera for the first 3 weeks, just taking pictures of everything. And then you're by the countryside, and you know, you just go out into the countryside and walk by the river, and we live in walking distance of the town, so it's perfect.
So you find as an artist there's lots of inspiration here. Yeah.
Tons, and we go into Wales quite a lot, and you can see me with my camera constantly.
Yeah, it helps
taking
being on the border, doesn't it?
So you lovely. Love
Right,
it.
okay, so make sure you check out Karen's Instagram, which is at...
Art K Duffy.
Make sure you check that out.
K for Karen, Duffy.
And if you want a bit of art doing for Christmas, make sure you pop in and see her.
Yeah, come to the market
do
hall.
commissions. She'll do...
Top floor.
She'll paint your Labrador for you if you want one. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you,
you very
Karen.